Hi, my name is Bruce. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm so excited to submit for Tuesday in You Must Wear a Hat. I think you grew up in a desert. Your parents died in a landslide, leaving you and your sister, Maureen, to fend for yourselves. You started traveling, trying to find a place with power and food and inland, away from the encroaching sea. You were absorbed into a traveling caravan of entertainers. You and Maureen had an act where you sang and danced, but Maureen was much more skilled at singing and dancing than you. She was always the most outgoing, as opposed to you, who is much more reserved. So you became the stagehand for her solo act. In some ways, it caused a great rift between the two of you. In others, it brought you closer together. Having no one but each other, you never fought. Even though it always saddened you not to be in the limelight. And one night, there was a terrible accident. When you were trying to lower a backdrop, it fell on her head, deforming her face. Maureen always wanted to be the star, and now she had her face like one. In her absence, you stepped into the star role and found your own voice and body. In the process, you came out of your shell. It was magical. The material shifted from nostalgic songs from a long time forgotten to original compositions about murder and mutilation and deforming the faces of your enemies. You were drawing from personal experience of tragedy, so it made everything shine just a little bit brighter. Maureen finally recovered and tried to return to the act, but the audience was not as receptive. Nostalgia had gone out of fashion, and her face was still deformed, and the audiences liked to hear songs about tragedy, but they didn't want to look at it. You had to break the news to her that her career was over. She would never be a star. You tried to comfort her with the sweetest words you could imagine. Maureen, I will cut your face off your skull and wear it as a mask on stage, and then we will both be monsters. But it didn't comfort her. She wanted to be a star. She ran away from you, from your success and talent, so you could succeed without her impairing you. After she left, you were overcome with grief and sadness. You didn't want to perform without Maureen. You gave chase, trying to find her, but she was nowhere. After several years of searching, you found your way home. Here. And you needed to decide between continuing the search for an indefinite period of time or making hats. Making hats was comforting. Your calling. And you didn't have to think about the past anymore. But you thought of her often. Too often. Which is why it's too hard to talk about.